Hello, everybody. Welcome back to the Gameroom Discourse podcast. As always, my name is Mike,
I'm James.
And I'm Joey.
and today's episode is going to be a fun one. They're all fun, but some other, whatever. Um, Today's episode is going to be games that are so bad they're fun, whether or not it's broken, glitchy, or just downright unfinished. These games have really gotten the bad end of the stick on Metacritic, IGN, but they've gotten a pretty good high rating on people's opinions. So I think
Let's
I'd
start
like
off
to kick it.
big.
Yeah,
How
let's start off with the big one.
Gotta go 6.
Sonic,
The one we've all
Sonic,
played
Yeah.
Sonic
together.
06. So let me tell you all a fun little story about the three of us. We went to college together. We all have now graduated. Um, And while we were in college, James here had the brilliant idea of because there's a game room at our college. Fun fact, that's why it's called the Game Room Discourse. But there's a game room at our college, and they had Sonic 06 on it. James had the brilliant idea of playing that, and then I asked to join and do the shadow levels, and he said sure. And then Joey came in and was also and decided to do the silver levels.
No,
So the
it's just
three of
that
us,
it was supposed to just be James and
yeah,
whoever
it was initially
else.
just
Yes,
James, and then we came in.
I just wanted to play by myself because I'm like, oh man, this is gonna hurt, but
This
it's
is
gonna be
gonna hurt.
this is gonna be a fun kind of hurt remembering all this stuff. It's gonna be
Yeah,
nostalgic, in fact.
Basically
because we
reminiscent
were
of the
all
song
together.
Hurt So Good.
It was great because we had all our friends watching us go through this hell, and I remember um, sitting there at the very end, the final boss, and we we decided to make it as hard on us as we could by handing the controller off to each person when the different characters changed. So every time it went from Sonic to Shadow, I got the controller. Every time it went from Shadow to Silver, Joey got the controller. And every time, and you get the point. So we were just swapping this controller in the middle of a public game room, screaming at this boss fight.
No, the boss fight wasn't even the worst part. I'm
It
gonna
was
be
right
honest
before
with
the
you.
boss. It was the thing right before the boss fight where we like there would just be random portals of death that would just spawn and you would just land on them, like
Oh
where the
yeah.
game put you. The one where I died, where I literally just the game threw me like from the spring, and where I landed, something spawned and killed me. And I'm like, are you kidding me? And I
I'm
like
gonna be
almost
honest.
screamed. James like punched the wall.
It was really bad because I'm the one that got the Sonic levels, which means I had like the stuff that was like Crisis City, freaking those
Yeah.
constant moving forward ones, and if you like hit something, you're like basically instantly dead because it was designed so
I got the
bad.
I got the quote unquote good ones, and they were still brutal. Like there was one time where I had fun, like genuine like good game level fun, and it was the motorcycle part, or one of the parts, and I'm like that was it. But that was like 10 minutes of gameplay, and then the rest was just, ugh. And I just
The thing was, Shadow levels were basically also just Sonic levels, but they still operated better than Sonic levels because
well,
that was
yeah,
literally
Sonic
their
Sonic
second look at it. That was their second
Silver,
look at the level, so they could fix it up a bit.
yeah, exactly. And then Silver had his. Can you call them levels, or are they just more like
Yeah, I had
abomination?
the silver
They were
levels.
Joey
he had
had
his
the
own
Silver
entire
level,
mechanics.
which
Yes,
was
where you
it's
have
no
to.
good.
That's the silver boss fight. What I
No,
had to
I know.
deal with
Oh, I
was.
had to do the silver boss fight.
Oh yeah,
I
it's
know, I'm
fun,
talking
isn't
about
it?
in terms of the
Great.
silver levels, where you had to use this weird ass mechanic to
It's so
psychically
stupid.
lift up blocks, and you only
Blocks,
had a
yeah.
certain meter, and that meter was shared
Oh
with
my
your
god.
like hover, so you can't really hover far.
And you would just
Oh yeah, I forgot
and
about that. That's so
yeah,
dumb.
yeah.
You
You would
couldn't
just
hover and
fall.
attack at the same time.
I remember. I don't remember the level names, but I remember I was doing one of the levels with Shadow, and I just started running across a bridge, and I started. Every time I would get to this one part, the game would push me to the left, and I would fall through the stage, and I would just die. And I'm like, what is happening here? And how do I get around?
My worst one would have to be the silver level. For those that don't know the silver level, um,
Oh,
silver
it's
could
no.
chain kill you. It's no use. He could throw you, you get down, and then he could instantly pick you back up and then instantly kill you.
Yeah,
It was
if you've ever
just
played Smash
so
Brothers,
dumb.
if you ever played Smash competitively, think of like wobbling with ice climbers. It was kind of like that. You get hit once and you're just dead.
Basically.
It's either that or you get hit once, you lose a ring, and then you recollect it, and then you get hit
Oh yeah, and
once.
it's infinite, and it's no use trying to fight back. Pun intended.
It really is. Like it's just like, oh god damn it! I just got a GG
It's
restart basically.
it's great. Um.
I mean, I learned the
Yeah.
trick
Mike,
behind it, but I kind of just didn't tell anybody
Well,
because
yeah.
where's the fun in that?
Well,
Mike, I forget for Shadow. Did you have the constant running levels like it's just like straightforward and you're not allowed to stop
No,
whatsoever?
I think that was only Sonic. I think he
no,
had the
Oh,
I had a
vehicle
damn!
couple.
sections.
I had a
I was
couple
like,
of them, but what do you mean by by straight running? Because there was never any straight running, no matter what the level I was doing, because I would always just get hit by something.
oh no,
Hold
no,
Like I
on,
could,
I
never
gotta
would.
speed up.
like I
Yeah,
yeah.
you're not allowed to stop. Normally in a normal Sonic level, you're at least allowed to stop and like assess the situation if you really
Oh
wanted to.
no, like I would keep like sliding around the floor, and then I would get
I'm not
turned
even
around.
saying. I'm not even saying that. I'm saying like you're forced to run, and all you're allowed to do is like move left and right.
And
I
if you
don't
Like
know.
only
jump,
I
you
don't
Sonic
cannot
did
remember.
that.
control.
I don't think
Yes,
I
you
had that.
can. As a Sonic, those ones were the worst ones, and Crisis City was one of those where it was just
I
like,
may
oh,
have, but I don't
you might have
remember.
gotten,
But
you might have gotten one because
I
I
might have.
remember, and I got three of them. It was one of the starting levels, another one, and then Crisis City, and I was just like, oh dear God,
And
why?
what was unfortunate about it was we had class at different times, so we would beat different parts of the game without the other person there. So like I beat a lot of Shadow without you guys there.
Yeah,
So like I don't
I
have you
was able
guys'
to
memory.
done Sonic. Yeah, I was able to do like a lot of the Sonic because I had to complete most of the Sonic stuff for you guys to even get to
Yeah,
your
that was the
story.
fun part. We kept like asking you to just do the Sonic level so that we could finish our parts and get it over with.
I was like, give me a minute, man. I gotta suffer through this part real quick.
That was it was even funnier because you were like, it was either this or Persona. And I'm like, you
See,
have to choose between a good game or
I
this.
gotta choose between a really good game or Sonic 06.
And I have to choose Sonic 06.
Because otherwise you guys couldn't do yours at all.
Oh, dude, it was fucking funny.
It also sucked because Sonic has the most out of everyone too.
Well, yeah,
So it's
I mean
just
that's expected.
yeah, that's expected, but at the same time it was just like this is a freaking
The games were just like they were so weird. It was. I
well,
mean,
remember when they gave us that switching off part with all the other different Sonic characters like Knuckles, Tails,
yeah, that's what I
Razorback,
was talking about
and
when
Omega? Yeah,
when I
just
got like when I was thrown from a spring and we all had to share the same lives and it was my part with I think Omega and I was thrown to a spring and I or Shadow or whatever it was. I was thrown to a spring and I was thrown from the spring to a spot where there was a black hole thing that spawned where I was
oh, I know
landing
exactly what you're
and
talking
killed
about.
me.
Because
And
no, the
and
entire
you
level
punched.
had black.
Yeah, yeah, and it just was all over the place. And we had to share lives, and we were close to the end. And I was like, "All right, I got this," because we had died a few times at the same spot. And I finally got past one spot that was stupid,
And
and then I got to that, and I landed, and it spawn killed me. And
you remember?
I just remember turning to Joey and and him looking at me don't scream. It's okay. We all would have died to that. Don't worry. It's okay. It's okay.
It was such
And I was like,
bullshit.
and James screamed and punched the wall.
Oh god.
Dude, it was so unfair. It was
It
just
was
like, oh
so
man, we worked on getting
stupid.
all these freaking lives. Joey, I forget which person you had. I know you had. Did you was
He had
Blaze playable?
Silver and Blaze, and then I had
You
Shadow
had
and Omega. Luke took over like Knuckles or something, and
no.
you
I had
Sh-
Knuckles and he took over Tails. He took over
Tails,
Tails.
and you had Sonic and Knuckles. So
Yeah.
yeah, it was the jumping was weird in that. Like I think what was brutal about it was that you had to share lives, and there was no like really getting more lives.
I mean, they also introduced a lot of mechanics in that game. They tried a lot of new stuff. And it was just like
And if they
too
just
much for it.
waited a little longer and like fine tuned it, it would have been great. Well,
Yeah,
would have been fine.
it would have been better.
It would have been a game.
It would have been a game.
So here's a game that's not really as much of a game because of the fact that it's just not finished. But speaking of Sonic, let's go right into Sonic Boom, shall we? Now, I don't know if either of you have played this game, but I
Game
dare not call
congratulations.
it that because most
Game.
games have a beginning, some sort of cohesive plot, and an end. Like
Yep.
that's the most basic crux of any kind of thing. This game starts off with the end,
Yep.
goes back into a random spot in time, doesn't tell that story, doesn't make you need to learn the story, goes through levels with textures that don't actually fit the levels. Those climbing things, yeah, they're kind of not textured right. They look weird. Um, look like something out of Doom. Just plastered on there as like a placeholder, but gotta have the deadlines. And I just remember when I got that game and I found out about my good boy Nux. And I
Ah,
beat the game in
yes.
like an hour. And I don't know anything about the game. People ask me, "Oh, well, what's it about?" I'm like, I really couldn't tell you. Like,
Honestly,
I
the worst betrayal of all the Sonic characters. It's the worst designs. It's the
yeah,
worst story. That says a
yeah.
fair amount.
It's but let me tell you, it is hella
Hell,
fun trying to speed run that game.
yeah,
it
yeah,
is
because of the
it is
limitations.
insane because you don't do anything you're supposed to do.
Hey,
You go through
I will
walls.
even say this is the one Sonic game that doesn't have music that automatically slaps.
This has no. I don't know any of the songs from Sonic Boom. I don't think there's
Exactly.
any good ones, which is a big bummer.
Even Unleashed, which is sometimes just shat on, has like freaking endless
Unleashed,
possibilities, which
yeah,
is
Unleashed has
freaking
like the low.
slap.
Aside from like out of the big main Sonic games, Unleashed is probably the lowest soundtrack quality next to Sonic Boom.
But it still has
It still
Rooftop
has
Run and
it has
Dragon,
Yeah,
rooftop
but
run,
like Dragon
endless
when you
Road.
think about all the
possibilities,
when you think about
perfect
Sonic
Dark
games,
Gaia.
yes, I'm saying there's some good ones, but when you think about most Sonic games, they're usually always top tier quality in music.
I'm
So to have
saying that
so to have
it
only
is.
one good song, maybe two,
No, he has a
is
lot.
low.
It has a lot. I'm
Unleashed,
saying it's low. Yes, it has a lot. It has endless
I only know
possibilities.
one.
Which one?
Endless possibilities.
Endless possibilities. Rooftop run. Perfect Dark Gaia. Freaking okay.
Dragon Road.
It might be. Yeah. It might have. It might be low tier among Sonic games, but it's still very high tier in terms of
Oh
like
well, that's what I
music.
was saying. Low tier amongst
Yeah.
Sonic. Anyway,
You just
we're
gotta
off topic.
preface that
We're off
because
topic.
you know
We're off topic. Has either of you played Sonic Boom?
I
No.
have.
You have. So, have you ever tried to speedrun it?
No, because I didn't want to go through it again.
It's a different speedrunning Sonic Boom is arguably more of a game than playing Sonic Boom.
I understand that, but
It's
also
I
it's
don't
just
speedrun.
like
I think speedrunning defeats the
it's
purpose of a lot of games, but this
it,
game
it-
was built for it. It is built
literally.
for you to figure out what you can do. It's a sandbox of torture, and I love it.
I just can't get through it without just going like, look what they did to my boy. Look how they
Well, yeah,
murdered my boy
and
a lot of the
unfortunately,
times.
you have to use him to do most of the stuff, so you have to always look at him.
Gotta do
It is
Sonic,
unfortunate, but
Knuckles.
it is.
They added sticks in, and I'm just like, who the frick is this?
Wait, who was Stick? Oh, she was like the weird. Wait, no.
You don't remember Sticks, the freaking crazy noob
Oh yeah,
I think it was
she's
character
Sticks
they
the
so
added?
Rabbit, and she
irrelevant.
was like
I
super
didn't
paranoid.
remember. Can I
Literally,
tell you
she just
something?
becomes a better character in the
I did.
actual like show.
Yeah, I was gonna
For it.
say I thought she was only in the show because I never really
No,
experienced her in the game because I never beat the game legitimately. I after like an hour of playing, I shut it off and I came back to it the next day after the people had figured out the Knuckles thing. I was like, all right, let's do this. I went and I finished it in like I don't know, it must have been an hour or two. It was really funny, and I don't remember anything from the game. It's really funny.
do we just want to rip on Sonic games for a bit? Because I mean, there's
Well, I
a
mean, hey,
couple that are.
I mean, Sonic is a
there's
huge majority of the games that we listed.
I mean, Sonic Forces doesn't fit this one because it's not a game that's bad, so bad it's good because it's just bad.
It's just
So,
it's just bad into the
but we could
freaking
do
ground.
Sonic R. Sonic R is amazing.
I don't know about Sonic R. There's some Sonic games that I just excuse because they suffer from early 2000s marketing, and that's it, really.
Sonic R came out. Hold on. Talk about a different game. Talk about like
I still think it's in 2000s. Hold on.
no, but like if that's the case, then Sonic R is worse than I thought it was.
Sonic R came out for the Saturn?
Oh
Sonic
wait,
R,
no, I thought no. I'm thinking of Riders.
1998.
I'm thinking of Riders.
Yeah,
But
Riders was fine. It was just uneventful.
And then there was
yeah,
Riders 2, where it was just, oh hey, it's another
yeah,
PSP.
I
freaking
like Spirit
Mario
Gravity.
Kart for Sonic. Basically, Mario Kart for Sonic. Sonic
Sega
R.
Team Racing was really good.
No, Sonic
Um,
R was a
Sonic R, them running, and it was
yeah.
really, really awful. But
I do.
I like how they call it a racing video game. I'm like, that's really debatable.
Of the like 5 minutes that I've played of it, it's actually kind of fun for me. I
It's
don't
really
know.
It's
fun.
just
I
like
think it's really fun. It's just it's not
yeah.
it's objectively not good.
I mean, like
Like
if you
the
drifting
controls
in
are
that is really
wonky.
fun. It is a
The
little bit
controls are
like
really
slippery,
wonky.
I should say.
Yeah, it's
But
very
I've seen
slippery. It's
so
very
many mods of
wonky.
it. It's actually really fun. Like if you do like, there's a bunch for that.
Sonic or Amy has a car for some reason
I
instead of
don't know
running
why.
like everyone else.
They added the Tails doll thing in that. Remember Tails doll?
It looks awful as well.
Oh yeah, it haunts my dream.
It looks terrible. Um, but Sonic R, yeah, it's from '97. What racing games were out by '97? When did
Mario
Super
Kart.
Mario Kart?
Mario Kart? How many Mario Karts were out? Was Mario
Was
Kart?
Diddy Kong Racing out? Let's find
When
out.
did when did 64 come out? Mario Kart 64.
Uh,
96. So that was out at the times, along with the Super NES. Mario Kart was better than Sonic R. Like,
Diddy Kong Racing also came out in '97. Actually, it came out before Sonic R. So yeah,
yeah,
Diddy Kong
Diddy Kong
Racing was
Racing
out.
came out. When did Crash Team Racing come out?
Let's
Because that was
see.
another good one.
Was that just a racing year? Hold on.
it
Oh, that
could
was
have
in
been.
'99. All right, so fine.
So it was kind
What
of like a
about
racing generation.
racing games before 2000? Not no no. That's none of these are before 2000. Thanks.
Just
Well,
put a
Uh,
list of racing games. Hold on.
I mean, there's Beatles Racing, where you race around in a Volkswagen Beetle.
Thanks
I
for that, Joey. I
I
greatly
believe
appreciate
that was a
it.
PS1 game. It might have been a PS2 game. I don't know. I don't know. Just random tidbits of knowledge that I have in my brain that come out randomly.
Okay, they put this alphabetically and still by release date. Hold on.
oh my
See,
god, list of racing games is awful.
what list of racing games? I went down Astro Race, Space Race, which is an Atari game. Yeah, Speed Race. Let's see. Let's go into the 1990s instead. Let me go
That's what
down
I'm
to
doing.
1990s.
Regardless of what we're saying, Sonic R is a terribly it's really not great. It's it passes some things for some people, maybe not for me. But that game introduced nothing. It looked terrible, and like ugh. F-Zero X came out in '98. I don't know
I
if it
see
came
that.
out. I don't know if
Sega
I don't.
Game Pack came out for
Oh, Sonic
the
R.
F-Zero.
Sonic. I found Sonic R. It's a little bit below F-Zero X. A
F-Zero
little bit below
came out a
Grid.
while before
Yeah,
that happened.
Wow.
F-Zero for
That
the
was
SNES.
Wow.
1991.
Diddy Kong Racing came out. I guess I don't know if we can really
A
count
month,
this one before. It came out like a month
a
before,
month.
so I
Yeah,
don't really. But what
maybe
else was
everyone was
out
just
by
thinking
then?
the same thing.
Formula was out. Formula One was out. Um,
NASCAR racing,
Basically, we
yeah,
can
the
say that there
NASCAR
were a
game.
lot of
Need for
better
Speed.
there was a lot of better racing games to play at the time than
Many,
Sonic R.
and they
Sonic R was
flubbed it.
pressured to make a racing game because their characters loaded fast.
Wave Race '64 was out.
Mario
Oh,
Kart
so
64
bad.
was out before Sonic R.
Yeah, well before.
I'd say a
Wow.
year. The
That's
N64
enough to
Yeah,
games,
make some changes.
that is fair.
1996.
I was gonna say, like, you can't argue with me on that one.
Yeah, a
Also,
year to
Mega
make
Man
some.
Battle and Chase had one.
Yeah.
There's a lot. There's a
um,
lot. But I think
Yeah,
you guys get the picture. There's a
it was really, really underwhelming. The graphics were poor. Piss poor. It was gross. Um,
well, I mean, it tried to be 3D, so I mean, that doesn't go well,
it tried.
before
I guess you
2000.
could say it tried.
It was
I sure can say it tried.
Sega Saturn, which is kind of like the in between of
Sega
the
Saturn was a mess. The Genesis was great, and then the Dreamcast was pretty good, but the Saturn came out in between, I believe those, and it was something happened there.
yeah, the Dreamcast is like a better quality PS1, and then the Saturn is like a slightly better N64, if I'm putting that correctly. It's weird. It it's a weird generation.
Yes,
Yeah, yeah. So back to games that suck
games
so much
that's
they're actually good.
um.
I mean,
Also, I
Superman
want to give a quick
64 you
pop out.
listed.
Hold on. I
Yeah.
want to give a quick shout out to my boy Moist Cola, just taking it over the Steve player in the Smash tournament. Double down. Um. Anyway, just wanted
I
to
mean, I
shamelessly
was
plug.
just looking at the list.
But
Superman
that can be a nice,
64.
good segue into our next game. But real quick, we're gonna need a 5 minute break because I need to take a shit. But our next
Really?
game
Okay.
really gonna be pretty. Just you wait. All right, I'll be right back. We'll be right back.
Okay.
And we're back.
Sorry about that, everybody. But yeah. So speaking of Smash, uh, one of the most notorious Smash games, if not technically all of them, are horribly glitchy and kind of broken sometimes. For those of you who don't know, if you play Smash competitively, you know what SDIing is. SDI is a factor of like different things that weren't meant to be, or like, it's a factor of just other things in the game. The SDI was not coded in. Like that was not a thing that was expected in Melee. Um, and I don't know if it's in. I'm pretty sure it's not in 64, but it was not. It was not meant to be there. So
Um,
for Melee, a lot of it's tech, and Melee is insanely fun. Melee is great. Melee is not a bad game. This is bad games games that are so bad they're fun, or broken games, glitchy games, etc. Not all these games are going to be bad. Most of them are, but not
yeah.
all. But
I
Melee is a great game.
I was gonna say, I think I do remember you couldn't DI in 64, but you could SDI.
No, you have it the other way around.
No, you couldn't
Are you
DI.
sure?
Pretty sure.
Let's
We
look
could
this
also
up.
use the power of the
Fact
internet.
check.
The power of the internet, everyone.
Oh, you have DI does not exist while SDI does. All right.
Yes.
All right, cool.
See?
All right.
Knowledge.
Good for you. All right. But regardless, DIing and SDIing were not meant to be in the games. They were like just a product of like just how certain mechanics functioned together. So it's really cool to see how something like that translated into the competitive scene, and now you can't really win sets without it. Like you can't do it because you just don't live. You know,
Yeah, because with Fox Up Air, you need the SDI to not get
and
hit.
it's in every Smash game now. DIs in all of them, SDIs in most of them. So we'll say, but like that. So like another Smash game, Smash Four. Some of the characters in there or I don't think Brawl was broken from Meta Knight, but I don't think that was an SDI or DI thing. So I'll get to
Um,
that in a second.
there
But
was also a bug or glitch, whatever one you want to consider it, where if you kept on mashing up on the C stick while you're doing the vanish attack from Meta Knight, you could stay like
yeah,
completely invisible or intangible.
yep, yep. I know it was amazing. Whereas Meta Knight was fun to play in Brawl and was broken. You come to the other
I
end of the
mean,
spectrum where Bayonetta was boring as hell and really easy to play, uh, and impossible to play. Not impossible, really, really
yeah,
hard. You had to play a lot
I
better than your opponent.
was gonna say for Brawl, I think we all love freaking Subspace Emissary though.
Well,
Even
yeah,
though
of course.
even though it is not
Weird.
the best
Incredibly
thing to go
flawed.
through,
Yeah, it's
incredibly
flawed, but
flawed.
it did something that no other Smash game had done or really has done since. And
Yes,
It,
it's
because
really the only reason you to go back to that game now.
yeah,
it gave
people
Smash story mode.
Yeah, I thought I really loved it. I've gone back to it before. I've gone back to it within the last couple of years, and I still like it. It definitely has aged, but
yeah.
Just
it's still good, still fun. Fun, good doesn't have to be, fun doesn't have to be objectively good. Um, which is where we lead to, guess what? Another Sonic game.
oh boy.
Sonic Adventure 1. Now, I'm going
I
to
mean,
start
I
off
think
as I usually do because I am important and I want to. No, I'm just kidding. Um,
wow.
I personally have not played this game since finding out what broken or glitchy meant. Um, this is one of the I love. I played Sonic Adventure. Oh, I have ADHD and I have autism and a lot of things. So usually when I find something I like, I stick with it and I don't change anything because I don't like change and I don't move on to different things. So I think I played Sonic so another thing I would do is I would always count things. I believe the end total was I beat Sonic Adventure from the age of I don't know, 5 to 10, maybe 12. That time frame, I beat Sonic Adventure 31 times, I think it was. I know that game inside and out, forward and backward. And I've like I I know where each emerald can be hidden in Knuckles levels. Let me put it that way.
And I want to
I know
ask,
that I know it for
you played the GameCube version, right?
yes,
Which is
which has
the
is
most
I believe the
glitches.
superior. Oh, it is the most.
Oh yeah, a lot
Um,
of people consider the Sonic Adventure DX for GameCube to be one of the
but
lesser
what is it?
ports.
Yeah, the
Hold on,
director's cut.
my headset just happened. Hello.
Hello?
Was saying how the director's cut. Oh.
All right, cool. I didn't hear what you said.
Okay, I was saying how the director's cut to most people isn't really considered the most faithful, and it's actually considered the buggiest version of that game.
It is the buggiest
So
version of the
when
game.
I was a kid, I didn't, and I still really don't. I don't care if there's a little bit of glitchiness or whatnot, or I don't notice it until it's pointed out to me. I'll just assume,
To
like
be
I always
fair,
think that everything's meant to be the way that it is. At least that's how I always would think. So I would, if I experienced a glitch, I would know it's a glitch now. But back then, I would have probably said something like, "Oh, why did they make it as if it was intended?" So that's what I was when I was a kid. And I beat that game, and I love that game so much. I can quote almost every song. I can, it's so good. Uh, but
what bad parts though? Some
I have
bad.
since playing it since the last time I played it when I was like 12. I have seen other people play it. I have seen James play it in the game room that we mentioned before. Um, and I have seen all of the glitches, but I can't because I guess because I was just, you know, I guess through I think it's nostalgia goggles, honestly. But I can't remember experiencing things like that in my playtime with it. I don't know why, but I think it's just nostalgia goggles. But I do know that game is horribly glitchy. I do always remember thinking that their faces looked really weird.
Yes, the
So the
freaking moving
graphic,
faces.
yeah, the graphics were never lost on me. Trust me, the graphics were always. That was something I always was like. That's really stupid that their mouths don't make sense.
Watch
You
out, you're
know.
gonna crash.
Ah.
But let me point out the stuff that I didn't like about Sonic Adventure. I still thought it was fun to play,
Oh,
but my thing
I think
was,
it's probably still fun to play.
but there's a lot of stuff just like not intuitive. Of like, oh, where do you go a lot of the time to them? Like you go to the ferry and it's just like, oh, you should go to there. And it's just
Yeah,
a
she
hint.
speaks in riddles a
And
lot.
exactly, it's like, maybe you should go to you should probably think of a way to do this. And I'm just like, excuse me? What does that
Hmm.
mean? Or if you're in a level where it's just like, oh, you should find a button. I'm like, but where do I go to find a button? And
Yeah,
also, the big one,
big.
Big the Cat.
I was gonna
Big the
say.
Cat
I
levels.
was gonna say if you don't mention big, like
There's
big.
3 Big the
Amy
Cat
was also
levels.
terrible. No,
3
there's more than
Big
that.
the Cat levels.
There's
Oh,
more
yeah.
than that. There's 4.
There's 4 Big the Cat levels. I tuned out the last one. There's 4 Big the Cat levels. The last
Actually,
one not really
no,
being
there's
a fishing
5.
game. Is
There's
there?
5. Yeah, because there's the first one, which everybody knows. There's the ice one. Trust me, I played this game many times. There's the
I
ice
do
one
remember the
afterwards
ice
where
one.
you have to use the floaty. Then you go to the tropical island, and then you go to
Wasn't
Eggman's ship
there
where you fight him, where you fish him in the tank, and then you go and you fish the frog out of like Chaos Six's
Yeah, I remember
belly,
that.
and that's it.
Okay. But that's 5 too many. That's
Yes,
5 too many.
but I will
Sometimes
say it does get the first
bite.
level was always the hardest.
Sometimes
'Cause
Froggy just wouldn't bite the bait, man. He just
yeah,
wouldn't fucking come on. I
I
say this
remember
like
that.
I thought I was playing, but I thought Joey was the one that played it when we were at the game room. I could have sworn it was him, but he doesn't recollect.
I don't remember. I'm sorry. You
Well,
say
you
that.
could just ask me. I know everything about that game.
No,
No, I'm saying we're asking who played it when I went to go
Oh,
play
I don't
Sonic
know.
Adventure 1 because
You
I thought it was
you didn't let
Joey.
me play it. You let me do the the pinball, which I did amazing at, and you didn't let me play the rest any of the other game, and I was upset.
Mostly because we had roles for everyone already for
Yeah,
that one by the time we
I
came
know.
in. I just don't remember who played
I
both
could still be
Amy
bitter about it.
and actually no, I think
Amy were the ones that I always hated the most.
it was Luke that that got Tails and Amy. I think he might have gotten Tails
Tails
and Amy.
was
I thought he got
Tails was
Omega.
whatever.
Tails was just Sonic levels. It was just Sonic levels at
Yeah.
that point. But you get one different level at the end, basically,
Hmm.
where you fight Eggman instead, which is cool and gave character and
I
whatnot.
liked. I thought Tikal was weird, and that whole thing was kind of stupid. Um, but I liked, even though I think it was stupid, they still did it well. You know what I mean? Like they didn't they stuck with it. I should say they didn't like
I mean,
half-ass it. I don't think, but
the
I
thing
still
about
think it was
also
weird.
the thing about Sonic Adventure though, this is when they actually decided to do character development for Sonic,
Yeah,
and it was actually
yeah,
good character development. So
yeah,
I was just like,
exactly.
"Oh man, we're adding lore about the Master Emerald. Tails is standing up for himself. Amy is trying to move away from Sonic. Sonic is Sonic because he's the
Birdie,
main character." We had like an
Birdie.
existential crisis with freaking Sigma.
Yeah, dude, can we talk about how dark E102's like actual story is? It's
Yes, that
really
was
dark.
fuck. He had to kill his
It's
brothers
insane.
the entire freaking time. I was like, "Oh my
It's
god, I forgot
super
about this."
scary.
And he comes back because it's literally an entirely different robot now. He's
Yeah,
Omega
it's
now.
yeah. That ending was frightening. Um,
Blows up, bird appears out of there. Like
I
fuck.
remember. I think I plugged in 3,000 hours in the pinball game alone.
Remember the pinball game? I did not like pinball.
I loved it. But again, nostalgia goggles. I probably wouldn't like it now because I've actually played pinball and I know how it's supposed to work.
But yeah, but that was
But then we come to a game that I've played very recently, the sequel. Another game on this list, one of the few that is actually, but considered by many, myself included, a good game. Now, prior to Joey explaining this to me, I played Sonic Adventure 2 almost as much as I played Adventure 1, except it was just different time frames. It was more like 8 to 15 that I played that one. But and then I recently played it again. Um, again on the GameCube. That's my favorite Sonic game. Sonic Adventure 2. And I am not afraid to say it. Uh, I uh, I
it has
think
the
I
most
beat
recognizable music
yeah, I beat
and
that
the most
game less times than I beat Sonic Adventure, but that game's also longer. And I clocked in, I think it was 10,300 hours in the Chow Garden alone. Um, again, numbers. I don't just. Trust me that I have conditions. I remember numbers. I'm sorry, but it was something like 10,300 hours in the game's clock for the Chow Garden alone that I spent. I raised chows. I remember the reason I stopped playing Sonic Adventure 2, fun fact, is because my first chow um,
What died?
was dying, and I found a glitch in the game, which I now know as a glitch. But then I was just like, oh, I can prevent it. If you would leave the chow garden before the chow actually finishes dying in the egg, the chow wouldn't technically die. So you could just keep coming back for like a couple minutes.
Couldn't you
So
just
I
pick
would
him
do
out
that.
from it?
No, when your chow
No,
died, he died, or at least
it
that's.
does. Yeah,
I remember
But
being able to pick him out of the egg before it went completely like
I don't really
translucent
remember.
or
I
it,
remember permadeath for
if you
Chows.
could,
I'm gonna be
yeah,
honest,
if you could do
and
it, I didn't know how.
reincarnation. I remember
If you could do,
reincarnation and permadeath.
yes,
That's it.
yes, you could, but I didn't know how to do that because I was a kid, and I was never one who used the internet a lot. I didn't really start using the internet until I was like 15 or 16. So I just didn't care. Um, I would play video games. I wouldn't really use internet in the sense of like looking things up. Um,
Yeah, I also wouldn't consider like Sonic Adventure 2 as a bad game. All it did was suffer from. I've been saying this off the recording. Early, early 2000s marketing of, oh, we gotta be too cool for school for Sonic. He's gotta love rock
yeah,
and roll. He's gotta talk like
but I
this.
think it worked though. I mean,
I'm just a
I
guy who
love
likes adventure.
like
Sorry.
I love the shadow levels. Radical Highway is one of my favorite Sonic levels of all time. City Escape, obviously great, a little overrated,
City
but
Escape.
the music's
I
amazing.
don't
It's amazing.
gonna say that's controversial opinion right there. Gonna
Overrated
say it's
doesn't
a
mean it's
little
bad,
overrated.
but I
No,
think a
no.
lot of people, a lot of people forget that there's a whole game, and City Escape was one level, let alone the first level, and they act like it's the whole game. And I kind of like, yeah, it's a great level. I'm glad it's good. The song
but
is amazing, top tier
Pumpkin
level,
Hill.
top tier song. Pumpkin Hill is one
Pumpkin
of my
Hill is
favorite
the one
levels.
that slaps. But
Yeah,
it
yeah.
also slaps. It slapped a lot.
I
I'm just
know I'm
saying
here.
it's
I
mostly
sense
the
it in
most
my feet.
recognizable
The
one
great
for me.
emerald of power allows me to feel. I know that it's here. I sense it in my feet. The great emerald of power allows me to feel.
Knock knock, it's Knuckles.
Uh,
Honestly, underrated song, Unknown to Me.
unknown.
Version 2.
I know the whole. I mean,
I'm saying Unknown to Me version 2,
it's.
the second
Oh, I've
one.
never seen that. I know
That
that.
one slaps, and it's
Uh.
really jazzy.
Hold on. I think I just need to be.
I know the whole Unknown to ME parody
I know the whole
song.
song too. Oh, I don't know the parody. I know the actual song. I'm just trying to. I need to hear like the first.
Unknown to Me is good. Unknown to Me version 2 is
Well, oh
also
my
good.
god. I
Pumpkin
listen to the
Hill,
song all the time.
also good.
Pumpkin Hill's amazing. Wild Canyon's amazing. Again, another that game even more so than the first game. I know where every single emerald can be hidden. Like I
Why
know
was
where they
all this
all
game
are.
bad? I don't know
So
why
whenever I
all
see
this
people,
game bad. It's just good. It's just kind of good. We
yeah,
just wanted to mention it.
well, no, because there's a lot of glitches. Like you can, like Joey said, you can phase out. I do remember it now when he brought it up. You can phase out of the wall like when digging into the wall and like with Knuckles. Sometimes you could just go into a different plane of existence. Like
Oh,
you'll
yeah, I do remember that actually.
like there were areas where you were supposed to dig through to get to another room, but like you could just kind of go through and end up like in a room that wasn't actually done, and it
Yeah.
was kind of funny.
Wait,
It's a
Sonic
lot more
Adventure 2?
polished
No,
than the first one, but it's still got its
Yeah,
glitches.
didn't also Sonic Adventure 2 introduce the ghost fight as well?
Yes.
Was it the one that
the
had the
Big
ghost fight?
Boo.
Okay,
Yeah,
okay, okay, yeah, yeah,
that was
okay.
a dumb fight.
Never mind, never mind. I remember that one vividly, and I remember not liking it at all.
Yeah, I hate it. That's
Nobody
like the
liked
only
it.
thing I didn't like about the game.
Nobody liked the Big Boo boss
I
fight.
do. I hate bugs, so I didn't like Rouge's Sand Temple level because there was just those weird giant beetles, and I had an extreme fear of them for some reason. Um, and then at one point, my game, I don't remember what happened, but the ultimate reason that I stopped playing, like, because I stopped playing for a while after my child died, but that's the only reason I stopped going to the child garden. I didn't stop playing the game. But I stopped playing the game for a while because my disc broke from playing it too much. It's like they just got a scratch on it somewhere, and it broke in the Rouge level. So every time I would be able to get there, and then it would break. I was like, all right, and eventually I stopped playing it. Um, but I do remember I always watch when I would watch people play Sonic Adventure 2, and they're like playing Knuckles' levels, and they're like, "What does this hint mean? Where could this possibly be?" And I'm like, "It's literally there behind the pumpkin in the middle, on the top, not that pumpkin, the middle one on the back, behind the side, like behind the side, next to the fences,
I remember
and it's
Sonic
under."
Adventure 1's hot and cold system. I actually don't remember
I
the
remember them all. Like I would be finding the gems before, like, because in Sonic Adventure 2 you would only they had a weird system where you had to be near the first gem that they chose. So like you could still
Ah,
technically find the other two gems, but you wouldn't get a glow because that might be the second
okay, so it
gem.
was still hot and cold, but it was like, oh, yep, there's ones there. You have to do this one.
That's
Yeah, so
why.
yeah,
Yeah.
but
Um.
I would find the gems that or the emeralds that weren't the first one. I would just find because I just knew where to look. It was really funny. If I don't know if I still remember them today, but I think I do for the most part. Um, like I could play it right now. The ones that would the weird little Wild Canyon was the one that I was the best at. Like I just knew it like it was too um easy for me. Like you would have the one that would be sometimes the one that would be really difficult. It would float right in the middle of the thing that pushes you all the way up. There would be sometimes one right in the boulder that you would have to break to catch it. A lot of times when you go all the way up, um, there's always one in at least one of the two side areas. Um, usually I could go on forever. I know that game really well.
I
But
feel like we should.
what?
I was saying we should probably move away from Sonic. We've been talking about Sonic games mostly for this. This is
Well, I
Hey, it's
mean,
almost like we should have a dedicated episode to
we should
Sonic.
talk about Duke
we already
Nukem
had that.
forever.
I
Let's
was gonna
talk
say
about
we.
Duke Nukem forever. Either of you played that game? Do you know what it is?
Nah, I, I
Um,
I know what it is.
I know what
I
it
know what it
is.
is.
I
I haven't
haven't
played it.
played it, but I've seen a lot of things like the
The
really, really
achievements.
weirdly accurate whiteboard physics, and
Yeah,
then
there's
also
that.
infinite peeing in the urinal.
Yeah. So I haven't played much of it, but I just wanted to mention it. A game that I think took the number that's coming to my head is 13 years. Um,
It took
it was
forever to make
it
Duke
took a
Nukem
long time
Forever.
to come out, and then it was ironically named Duke Nukem Forever because it took forever to come out. And I just remember the first scene where he's literally getting a blowjob from these two girls who are sisters, um, and the infinite peeing almost immediately later. And he signed an autograph. Like I remember the intro very well, but I don't remember much after. That game did not come out well. That game was really, really broken and bad. Obviously, none of us
It
have really
tried
played it.
very hard to make itself intentionally trashy.
It tried to bring it. So here's the thing: Duke Nukem didn't evolve. Duke Nukem in the '90s was '90s, kick ass and chew bubble gum. That kind of like it was really just '90s humor, and it was the '90s humor that stayed in the '90s, not the ones that like kind of lived on. It just stayed. So when it came out in 2013 or whatever it came out, it was very late. It was no longer really liked for that humor, and they didn't change it to come up with the time. Um,
Yeah,
but
it came out in
Potty humor as
2011,
well.
and not only it does
2011.
it, yeah, it also has a Steam version. And because I looked it up on my Steam account, apparently I have it.
Oh,
I didn't know that.
you could go and bring that reel up real quick and tell me how accurate I was
No.
to the. Don't bring it up. Don't actually.
I'm
So.
not playing it right now.
But yeah, that'll be just a quick mention because the next one's the ones that I believe Joey's played. Joe, you have a CDI, right?
No,
Or you've played the CDI games, right?
very little.
Oh, I beat Juan Gamelan.
If I
I'm
was
not
ever
proud.
to play any of the CDI games, it would probably be like modded versions that are improved, kind of like Zelda 2, but I
Oh
haven't
yeah,
played that yet.
Zelda 2. Link's Adventure.
That's
Link's
another.
Adventure. Oh, or Zelda's Adventure.
No, it's
The
like
CDI Zelda games are terrible. That's all I'm gonna say. They're not fun. I didn't find them fun, but they're They're very broken. The Zelda CDI
Very
one,
memeable. Very
yeah, very
memeable.
memeable.
YouTube
My
poops.
cakes will burn. Um,
Well, excuse me.
No, you've killed me.
me.
Good.
Ah, good.
God.
Oh man, you must
Basically
die.
the origin.
You
Basically
must
the origin of YouTube
die.
poops.
Yes.
Yeah.
I guess that deserves a kiss. Huh. You wish. Yeah, I won.
Yeah. Fucking. God damn it. Now I'm laughing. I hate this.
Cause yeah,
It's so
it's
bad it's
really
good.
stupid. It's so bad it's
Exactly.
funny. Now,
Oh my god.
we've just been kind of breezing through a couple of these because a lot of the games that we have on our list, a lot of us just know are bad.
I kind
Um,
of want to go through Bethesda games, honestly.
I don't know much about Bethesda games.
I have a lot to say about a lot of them.
I've
I
Can
mean, the
played
we
only
can
one that I
we
don't have
do?
to include is New Vegas. The only one I'm not going to include is New Vegas because that's not a Bethesda game. That's a Obsidian game that's in the Fallout series.
I played very little of 4 and almost nothing of 3.
I
Right.
played 3. It's fun, but it is also very glitchy.
All I
Um,
know is that Bethesda games are really buggy and glitchy because, hey, guess what? They always rush things, and the best way to play
'cause
them
it's
is just to
Bethesda.
mod the fuck out of them.
Or play New Vegas,
Yeah,
which
that's
isn't a
fair.
Bethesda game.
I
Which isn't
do.
a Bethesda game.
Did people find Cyberpunk fun?
I found it
I
fun
have a
for the
friend.
general creation. That's it.
I have a friend that thinks it's fun. I haven't played it myself
Because I know
personally.
that game's bad and unfinished and unpolished and
It's
all
been
the great
upgraded.
words.
It's been upgraded since then.
The
I
only
mean,
thing is, there were some actual fun, like, speedrunner bugs and glitches, but then they went and removed them and still didn't finish the game.
the other yeah.
So it's like, even people who wanted to have fun with the fun glitches couldn't anymore. And they were still the unfun glitches.
Oh, Deadly Premonition.
Yeah, never played it.
That that's a good bad game that's fun. I don't
Was it
remember much about it.
wasn't it out on the Wii U first or something like that?
It was that was a an interesting game.
God. I mean, to
Yeah,
some people,
go on to the Bethesda games. I'll take a break and stop talking as much.
I mean,
And
mostly with the Bethesda games, like they recycle like areas to use them again, or to like
oh,
some make
kind of
them
like
look
Superman
nicer.
64 and Aquaman Battle for Atlantis. How they're basically the same
Basically,
game, just
yes.
retextured.
And mostly to try and make the open world, better and more alive, but it ends up just going like, "Oh, I've been here already. I guess I gotta clear out this place again." And a lot of stuff starts feeling samey.
Another settlement needs your assistance.
Exactly. Stuff like that. Like it's even for Skyrim, but for Skyrim at least it's just like a big enough area that you don't really notice it until like you've had literally thousands of hours in it.
Heathens like you belong on a cross.
'Cause- Okay, but
Okay,
okay,
I mostly only
okay,
know memes because I watched some
okay.
playthroughs.
Yeah,
um,
degenerates like you belong on a cross.
so I just looked up a list because I ran out of games that I've played. Uh, Apparently, a lot of people seem to think that Skyrim a very glitchy game.
Oh yeah, Skyrim is a very glitchy game if you didn't have it
Mods.
on like Xbox 360. If you didn't have it on Xbox 360 like me, where it ran
Hmm.
actually good for some reason. I don't know
Well,
why.
Skyrim's a phenomenal game. Like, so that's like some people's top 20
Again, it's
games
one
of
of
all
those
time.
it's like one of those bad games that's so bad it's good. But
Yeah.
more of like the good stuff outshined its bad stuff, I should say, for Skyrim really.
And some of
Not that it's
its bad stuff is really funny, like when you save a deer from a wolf, and it's like, you best be thankful, and then it just disappears from existence.
or when you go flying around on a freaking horse out of nowhere because
No,
the
when you go
freaking
mountain
momentum
climbing on a horse.
you will see exactly. No, I mean
What
I've
about
flung
what
across the
about
world before, like
the
on
most?
a version that isn't Xbox 360.
Do we have any Assassin's Creed fans in the chat?
Of course,
You played the new uh I dare say game. Unity.
Valhalla. Oh, Unity. I don't know if that's bad. It's good. I think that's just bad.
Oh, nobody has any fun.
No,
So I know that was notorious for a lot of bugs.
that was bad, and also it's just like
Why?
it stopped a lot of. It nearly killed the series. Like it. That's when like
Yeah.
Assassin's Creed became not like an A-list game series anymore. Where you would
Yeah.
see it all the time, and people would talk about playing it. It got downgraded to B-lister. I
Okay,
mean,
so
there's
can
still
I
good ones like Origins, which I've been playing, but I
so
mean, it's still not like Call of Duty anymore.
so how about we rename this podcast from So Bad It's Good to like games that have bugs and glitches, whether they be good or bad.
We'll just call it glitchy.
I mean, we talked about Sonic games, and not all of them. I mean,
Yeah,
there were
just
points that were just not great.
call it a glitchy. Call the episode a glitchy glorious mess.
I mean, not
Glitchy
all of them.
glorious game room glamboree.
I mean, not all the points were like I was making were like, oh, it's glitchy, but it makes it fun. I'm saying like there was some stuff that was bad. Like it was hilarious how they thought that freaking talking about rock and roll and stuff was actually like good, like funny, or
Well, yeah,
cool. And also like
but
it's just over the top, trying to be too cool for school sometimes.
listen, we just need a title. It doesn't have to be the most accurate thing in the world, as long as it's
Hey,
accurate in general.
bad games we enjoy.
Bad, well, because not well. Sonic Adventure 2, Skyrim, Melee, Smash. They're
flaws
not bad
we
games.
flaws we enjoy with games. The flaws we enjoy with games. God, I don't know, something like that.
Uh, wonderfully flawed.
That sounds
Yes,
good.
there we go. Wonderfully flawed. That's a perfect one.
Yes.
My God. Have
hmm
you guys played any of the early Tony Hawk games? I mean, those are pretty.
I
Oh,
played about 20 minutes of one for the Game Boy when I was a kid, and I didn't know what Tony Hawk was, and it was the only game that was left. My brother had Pokemon, and I had my DS, and I forgot my games at home, so he gave me this extra game he found at the street, which was I later found out to be Tony Hawk, one of them. And it starts off with Tony Hawk getting kidnapped by people, and I didn't know
Underground.
what was going on. What is
yes,
Underground
it?
Tony
2.
Hawk games are really weird.
I like how you guys know that, but
Oh,
I remember
Underground.
I remember not being able to stand on the skateboard, not knowing who I was, or what I was doing, and being very uncomfortable the whole time.
Dude, sometimes you had to race freaking zoo animals when you like on a skateboard. Tony Hawk games are just weird.
What's the
You
the
gotta
zoo
be in a
race?
gorilla too, but yes, the zoo races, whatever
Zoo
Sometimes
that
you
race is
is.
an
had to throw
amazing game.
tomatoes at like visitors,
You did.
tourists. Remember that?
Or you had to grind on
No, I
rails
don't. I
over
played about 20 minutes of it, and I told you I got scared.
to knock
I
over
was like
propaganda.
uncomfortable.
Destroy the propaganda by grinding on all the rails and like freaking
That sounds like
salvage
Jet
that.
Set Radio.
How about those Tony
But
Hawk
Jet Set
games?
Radio was good.
Speaking of wonderfully flawed, how about the Gen 1 Pokemon games?
Oh,
I
So much stuff you could abuse in those ones. Oh
not to
my
mention
goodness.
how they literally forgot what was the type that they just didn't add enough in to make it not right, like
bug.
to fight against bug.
Bug
They
bug
didn't
type
have.
moves. There was one bug type move, and only
Yeah, they
Jolteon
just
could
kind
do
of forgot about it.
And the best bug type
it. Which made
Pokemon
sense.
couldn't even learn a bug type move.
Yeah,
It was Beedrill, actually. I mean, no, I think Beedrill could learn it, but it was just really bad at the stat. But anyway, Psychic was just overpowered. It had literally the only weakness it had was Bug, and again, there was only one Bug type move.
And then they
yeah.
had
Um,
Dark into Gen 2, and that was way too overpowered.
Ghost
And
types.
then Dragon came out, and Dragon's still kind
No,
of
dragons were always in Gen 1. They were also wonderfully broken. Uh,
yeah, but they had
because
ice.
the thing was though, ice was rare. It was rare as fuck, man.
That's true.
And I don't even know if ice actually like counted as a type for most of the time because most of them were just labeled as water.
I
I
fun
don't
fact:
remember.
I've never played the original Gen 1 games. I've played the
I,
remakes.
I played them a lot, and the speed stat is also busted because you know what's
Mm.
assigned to the speed stat? Critical hits.
Yeah.
So if you had
Nice.
a fast enough Pokemon, you could just crit everything
Yeah,
or a high crit move.
I never played
Hmm.
them, but my brother did, And also, I've seen a lot of stuff about it because Pokemon games are very documented.
Well, yeah, of
Hey, heck,
course.
you could use Venusaur and get Razor Leaf, and that just crits almost all the time.
Yeah.
Just
Hmm.
get him high enough level when he just crits all the time with Razor Leaf.
Also,
Or you
with
do
Gen 2,
Persian with Slash.
I was going to talk about with Gen 2, they introduced
Okay.
shinies, and it was completely dependent on their stats. So if you got one with certain stats, it would be guaranteed a shiny.
Yeah, I didn't know that. I didn't know that.
That's stupid.
Incredibly, but
Well,
that's
they,
Gen
they
1 and
had
Gen
to
2.
associate with they had to associate it with something, and they didn't want to code anymore else because this is their
Yeah, it
second
needed to
attempt
be compatible with Gen 1 and Gen 2.
to exactly.
Mm.
So they couldn't just assign it to something like, oh, well, we got to make a whole new thing for it, or else they're fucked. They couldn't make it backwards compatible because it would be messed up if you couldn't trade your Pokemon forward from a game you already played.
Wow, Gen 2 to Gen 3. That's such an astute. That's kind of why I don't play Gen 1 or Gen 2 anymore because number 1 the remakes and number 2 they're kind of locked to just them and then
Gen 1,
Stadium.
Yeah.
exactly.
Well, you can't. It's really hard. Oh, well, you know what? No, I'm not even gonna say that because you guys emulate. That whole point was gonna be muted real quick.
Yeah.
Yeah, we emulate the frick out of it so we can play the stuff we want.
I was gonna say for anyone who actually does care, I was gonna bring up that like those games are really hard to find. They're really expensive and they're on really old hardware, so it's hard to play. And then I was like, wait a minute, I'm talking to two professional emulators.
I don't know how professional it is. I just gotta download a freaking emulator and be like, "Up,
But
I'll
you
take
know
download
what I
it
mean,
for
professional.
it."
like
I have so many different copies of games, and it's just like, oh hey, Pokemon box for GameCube. Why don't I download it? How about I do?
How
how
about I just
about
download 3 copies of Fire Red and make them all like freaking, "Oh, here's the Nuzlocke edition. Here's the freaking randomizer. Here's the randomizer Nuzlocke. Here's the vanilla."
I've always wanted to do a randomizer.
It is fun. It is fun. I mean, it gets you to play other Pokemon that you normally don't play because normally, you
That's
know,
kind of why I want to do it because
fun.
I've always just played my favorites. That's why I liked
Nuzlocke
Arceus so
also
much because
makes
it
you do
made me
that.
use other Pokemon.
I mean, Nuzlocks also allow you to do that too.
Well, yeah, I mean,
Pokemon faints, you
I've
have
never done any of that though. I've always wanted to,
Nuzlocke you just
but
gotta
I
have your own rules. Randomizer, you have to emulate randomize.
yeah, that's
Get a
true.
randomizer.
I don't trust myself. No,
You don't trust yourself to like download the stuff for it.
no, I don't trust myself not to cheat during a Nuzlocke.
I mean, you set your own rules. Like,
Well, I would break
okay, I'm
those
allowed to
rules
have Div.
unless they're emulated in or something like that, or like made in so that I can't break them. I probably would find a way.
Fair enough. Fair enough. I
But
mean, you
maybe I've
also
been watching a lot of Small Ant for the past year, and I've really fallen in love with his content, and I've really learned a lot about that kind of stuff.
Yeah, I love
So maybe
his Mario Odyssey tag videos.
I love the hide and seek. Yeah, it's
okay.
really
We
fun.
should get back to the topic. We've got like
So
a couple more
One
minutes.
game that I really, really want to talk about because I love it so much and I had so much fun when I played it. Skate 3.
I've
Skate
never
3. Yeah.
heard of that.
It is
So
really
I'll let you
good.
take the reins.
It's the spiritual successor to Tony Hawk games.
Yes.
Oh
Where instead of just
no.
pressing a button to do like tricks or whatever, you have to use the stick and do like motion inputs. I think that was like the first fighting game I ever played without even knowing what a fighting game was.
Yeah, I was thinking, didn't Skate like one of the skates actually have like I thought it had thought it
Hadouken or
had
something.
I thought it had its own thing of like, oh, you had to on this actual freaking skateboard kind of to like play it. I don't remember, but I thought it did. Like when you had to slide around on something, I don't freaking remember. I
I
might
don't
just
know.
be thinking of a dream or something. I don't fucking know because I thought that was real.
But the game was so buggy, so glitchy, and whenever you got bored with the campaign, you can just mess with all the bugs and glitches. And it was during the internet, a time where like everybody shared everything, and so you could find like easy to do bugs that would just clip you underneath the stage and then just completely fly out. And Oh my goodness, that game's so much fun. I can't wait for Skate 4.
Hmm. Our next podcast should be games that we're anticipating.
I mean, I think we did talk about that for a bit, but that would
Um,
also be a nice one of like, oh yeah, I'm
well,
I'm waiting for this game to come out.
I mean, I can shoot off a couple of a list of things like God of War Ragnarok, Pac-Man World Repack, Skate 4,
I'm just waiting to see if you name any of mine before I go on
the
my
new
little
Sonic,
rant.
the new
Xenoblade
Sonic
3.
game.
Oh yeah, that's one of mine. New Sonic.
Yeah, new Sonic as well.
Metroid Prime 4, Bayonetta 3, Sonic Frontiers, uh, the new Fire Emblem game, a new DK game that's rumored, and I'm holding on to hope that it might be real.
Bomb
Pikmin
Rush
4,
Cyberpunk.
Bomberman 2, Bomberman R2, I mean.
Oh yeah, Bomberman R2. Oh man, I remember
Eh,
playing that in Game Room.
Joey said Pac-Man, right? 'Cause,
Pac-Man Repack.
yeah, I'm wanting that as well.
I
I'm
do
gonna
want
Breath of the
say
Wild 2 is my most wanted though.
for Bomberman R2, don't be too hopeful because it's Konami and I played the first one and it is the
Joey, I
multiplayer's
played the
fine,
first
don't
one.
get me wrong, but the story is
Well, I
not
didn't
only
play the single player of the first
No,
one. I only played
honestly,
multiplayer.
Bomberman R's story kind of slapped for me because it was just like, man, this is over the top for no fucking reason. This feels like I'm watching
I
like
never
a
played it.
really,
I only ever
really
played the
old school anime.
I only ever did the multiplayer because I didn't like the single player.
yeah, the single player was awful for me. It's over the top and the gameplay is just bad, whereas the multiplayer was
I,
the
I like the
most fun.
boss go. I like the bosses go with Bomberman R. I really like the. I thought it was really unique and like a take on
Bomberman
the
Zero though,
gameplay.
that's another game to be on topic. Bomberman Zero sucks.
Never
I
played it.
really like the bosses for Bomberman R. Honestly, since they're still on, this will still be on topic because Bomberman R has its fair share of issues. It tried to like
Yeah,
actually add story to the Bomberman franchise, and I liked
I
it. It
think
was
that's a
kind of
good thing. I do think that's a
it was
good
kind of
thing, but
the story was charmingly bad. It tried something of like
it
giving
was
them all
goofy. It was
personalities.
whatever. It
Exactly.
was
The only thing I hate is that you couldn't just play the multiplayer to unlock content. You needed to play the single player. That's the thing
Yeah.
that really blew me off. Because it was
yeah.
either that or microtransactions, because it's Konami we're talking about.
But dude, you got to play as
Dude,
right.
altogether fuck Konami.
You to play for Red Ryder from Metal Gear Solid, as well as a freaking wrestler from WWE. I forget which one it was. Was it Kofi King? No, it wasn't Kofi
And
King.
I think it was
It
Pyramid
was.
Head from Silent Hill.
Yes, there's a lot of freaking random DLC people. I'm like, oh god, why these people?
Hmm. I didn't know that. Interesting.
Yeah.
It was beautiful. It was beautiful.
It was beautifully flawed.
Exactly. And I can't wait for Bomberman R2.
I'm excited. I
Um,
can't wait for. I mean, my most wanted, obviously, everybody here should know, even though I didn't say it, is Breath of the Wild 2.
yes,
But
that one
Yeah.
is gonna
my
be
hope,
great.
my my want for that game is decreasing with how much it just is delayed. And so the next time it's going to be up again is when we actually get another trailer and an actual release date. Then I'll be like, okay, I can get hype again. Because now I'm like, at this point, it's just been so long that like I'm not gonna. It's starting to be like Metroid Prime 4, where it's like it's just not happening. But at least with this, we've seen gameplay of it. Whereas everybody knows the story. Metroid Prime 4 needs to actually happen. Like it needs to something needs. It's supposed to come out anytime now. It should have come out years ago, but
But then they kind of had to restart development
restarted
from
everything.
ground up because they didn't like the direction that they were doing.
Yeah, whatever. Fucking stupid.
I mean, we had a direct mini, but it wasn't really like an actual direct. Our last like official Nintendo Direct was like in February,
Yeah.
so
Yeah,
we might be getting another one soon, another Direct soon.
that mini direct slapped though.
I mean, fair enough. Yeah,
Yeah, I mean that was pretty good.
Yeah, the repack
Uh, I'm really
announcement.
hoping that we don't have to revisit this topic and add Sonic Frontiers to the list because I really want it to be good.
Yeah,
I
same.
want it to be. It looks
But
good.
it
It
looks
looks.
good.
It's a
but
new
it's
take on
just
the franchise again, but and
Sega
hopefully
has
it's
a
a good one.
track record, man, and they're not delaying it.
They have a
They're
track
only
record with Sonic games.
like like yeah,
With
that's kind of
Yakuza
true.
games, they slapped with Bayonetta, they slapped with only for Sonic games. For some reason, it's just like, ah, why?
Yakuza.
Yeah, I said Yakuza. Yakuza.
Oh, I didn't hear you say that.
Yakuza is awesome.
Yeah, aren't
Uh,
they also Jet Set Radio?
there's a lot they did, man.
Oh my goodness, I just remembered a game that I'm really hyped for.
No, Jet Set Radio was published by them. Also, I'm really hyped for, speaking of Jet Set Radio, the game that's like Jet Set Radio, but it's not.
Literally said it when I was listing out everything. Cyberpunk or
Is that
uh,
what it's called?
what is it called? Bomb Rush Cyberpunk. It
Huh.
it looks really good,
Ah,
and it's being made
yes.
by the person who made Lethal League, which is
Oh, I forgot Sonic Origins came out
oh yeah,
Yeah.
for
and it
some
was flawed.
reason.
And they removed
They changed
one of
some
the ways
music.
or the one way to play Sonic 1, 2, and then 3 and Knuckles and CD on Steam, just so that
Yeah,
that could be the definitive edition, while it also being a very flawed version.
yeah, that hurt my soul a bit.
Yes.
Do we have a release date for Bomb Rush Cyberpunk?
No, they said it was gonna come out when it comes out.
It's got a release date of 2022 right now, but we
That's
all know
not.
how that works.
Oh yeah, and then Hollow Knight Silk Song,
I mean, there's also
I never
Super
was
Monkey
into the Hollow
Ball.
Knight.
bitch.
Super Monkey Ball is
And
really
then
good.
there's Mega Man
Jesus,
Battle Network Collection.
that'll be interesting.
Yes. Uh,
Back on topic. Um, we've been. Has anybody here played Big Rigs?
No,
that's a classic.
unfortunately, no.
I haven't, but I know exactly what you're talking about because
Big Rigs
I've seen gameplay.
is is over the road racing is a game that is horrible. It is often quoted as one of the worst games of like all time, just based on like performance and glitches and whatnot. It's really really terrible. But
Mm-hmm.
man, that game is so much fun. Just seeing where you can go and riding all over the place, just riding out of bounds. Just you, the world is your oyster. You can do
Yes.
whatever you want, and you
My
never have to
favorite
finish
thing
the
that
game.
you can do is that if you continue going backwards, they never
Yeah,
put a cap on your speed.
yeah, you could just go infinitely.
You can just get faster and faster.
It's so much fun.
And the bridges don't actually do anything. You just go
Nope, they're just
underneath
there.
them
The
and
bridges are just they're just there for show.
yeah,
It's
and you can
super
go through
funny.
buildings. Basically,
I
the only
love
thing
it
that
so
actually
much.
makes sense is the level geometry. And even then, there's like an end to it where it's just infinite, invisible.
Yeah, I love. I it's just goofy. I would just see if I could get 3 laps backwards before my opponents could get 3 laps forwards. It was always so much fun. I love. I like. I love hating Bubsy because Bubsy's just bad. But
What's a platformer game without platformers or
well,
platforms?
so Bubsy 3D specifically is, in my opinion, the worst game ever made. Um,
Atari ET.
no, that game is really, really not that bad.
That's fair.
Literally, it was buried in Mexico, man. I don't know about that.
Think about it this way: Bubsy 3D was made by an entire team, had expectations, legitimate expectations, and had more than how Atari ET came out, was made by one person in a span of, I think it was 6 months, maybe it was 6 weeks actually. Um,
It was a
Now I don't know
very
about you.
small deadline.
I don't know about you, but
Go on.
Hold
Please
on.
continue.
I'm trying to get this exactly right. 10 months. 10 months. One man. One man made a game in 10 months for the ET for by himself while also attending college. He made a game for Atari. I don't know about you, about anybody else.
No, it's
That shit's
impressive. It doesn't change the
that's
fact that the game was bad,
hard as shit.
man.
Now, that aside, the game's not good. However, the game functions. It looks bad. Everything about it is bad. But I exempt it because of the fact that from an outside point of view, it's not good. It's bad. But to put it against a game like that's like saying your mom and pop shop who no wait, I'm not gonna go with that one because it's not that doesn't make any
Yes,
sense.
it sucks compared to Walmart. I'm sorry. Like you're
But like yeah, ET uh, it, yes, it's bad. Of course it's bad. Nobody's arguing that it's not bad. But uh, Sonic Boom was made by thousands of people and had multiple years of development. And that game is so much worse than ET, in my opinion, because that was made by multiple people and it was still just as bad, if not worse, than ET. Whereas this was made by one person. Man, if I could make that for my like sophomore year high school computer class, if I would have made ET, I would have aced the class and I would have never had to take that class like anything again. They would put me on like route to being a developer. Like that is a game that is impressive to make if you look at the circumstances that were surrounding it.
Whereas Bubsy 3D is the exact opposite.
Yeah, Bubsy 3D is awful, atrocious, and there's so many people that worked on that game. Like it wasn't, let me look at the exact development time. Uh,
I mean, uh, what could have led to it being so bad was probably just it was one of the first 3D platformers.
indeed it was.
Bubsy. I mean, no. I mean, yes, but no. Again, let's
Fergie
do
was
another.
hard for a lot of people to do, man.
Yeah, but listen, like, hold on. I'm looking up a lot of things right now. It came out in November 25th, 96. Let's look at the other games that were out by that point in time in 3D. Obviously, Mario 64 was.
I think Crash, maybe.
No,
Super
Crash.
Mario 64 came out. What's the month? June 96. So that's 6 months before that, which is plenty of time to see that you're doing something wrong.
I don't know about that. Coding
In
takes a
It's
game
while.
development, no.
No,
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 maybe
it
not to
well,
change.
that
Maybe
might
not.
as well be
Listen, shut
yesterday.
up. Maybe
It
not
might as
to,
well be yesterday.
maybe not enough to change it in that 6 months, but in 6 months, you have enough. That's enough of a time frame to see that this game is out and it's better than what you have, and you should have delayed that game and made it better.
No,
6 months.
because
No,
No,
what do you mean no?
the in game development, you have no idea how much a company has power over you, and you have no choice whether or not you can delay it or not.
The company should have seen Super Mario 64 and gone through and made sure that this game was good.
no, they wouldn't do that. They care about
Companies aren't
money and
good.
they don't care about
Yes,
quality, Mike.
yes,
Unfortunate,
exactly.
but
That's
true.
my point. That's not your point. That's my point. You're trying to defend why Bubsy was bad as being one of the first
No, I'm
3D
No, I'm
not.
games.
not
I'm just saying
defending
that you don't
why it's bad.
understand.
Oh,
You don't
I'm
understand
I'm
saying
game
that
saying I
you
do
development.
understand.
understand. I'm
I
saying
do understand. I'm
You do
saying
they
understand
wouldn't do
on
those
what they
things.
should do, but they will never do what they
Would
should
never
do.
do
I
it.
know they'll never do it. I never said that they would. But my whole point is Bubsy 3D could have been good because the excuse of it was one of the first 3D games isn't a good excuse because there were plenty of other 3D games that came out before it that the whoever was in
Mike,
charge.
Mike, 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 Mike. How would they have coded it if they saw it though? Seeing
I
doesn't
don't
mean they can code
learn.
it. They
Take more
cannot
time.
just learn it. They cannot just learn it, Mike.
Remember, they had to
Coding
make
is
a
hard.
3D engine from the ground up.
Yes, I get that,
That's their first one, and they
but
can't just
they
copy
kill.
that code.
But instead of that, they put something out that was really bad, and
And it,
like
Mike,
they
Mike,
knew it was bad. There's interviews with the people that they knew it was bad, and they knew they could
they
have
know
done
it
it
was
better.
bad. They
They
know
had
they
They
no
could do it
choice.
better if they had more time, but there's not a
Yeah,
lot of choice
exactly,
in the matter.
exactly. I know
Okay,
that. I know
Mike.
why.
I know I can make the Golden Gate Bridge better than anyone as long as I have more time than the time that they put into the Golden Bridge. If I had
Yes,
infinite time, I would make a better Golden Gate Bridge by myself than the people that
right.
actually made the Golden Gate Bridge.
But you don't
Good.
have that time, nor do you have the
But I
money.
don't have that time, or would anyone allow me, or have that money, or the budget, or be
Well,
willing to do that for me.
okay, that's a bit of an extreme example, but I still agree with your point. Like, because, but would you rather wait, wait an extra however much time it is to either learn or develop a new code, whatever it may be hypothetically? Would you rather do that, make a successful game that's good and actually competes with these other games and makes you therefore a lot more money, or not?
No.
No,
First,
it's either
because
It,
release the game right now and
there's a
hopefully
lot.
people
You
buy
have to
it.
also pay. You also have to pay those people to do those things
It was
all
a
right, there
for an
was
whole
a lot of
thing.
extended period
factors.
of
Okay,
time.
I get it. I get it. My point is there was a lot of other 3D games out there that they could have looked to maybe make this game a little bit better.
What was the lot of? I only heard Mario 64.
Well, that's because you guys interrupted me before I kept continuing.
I don't remember any games
We do
before
have a
Mario
habit of
64.
doing that
I'll
to
be
each other,
honest.
Yeah.
which is fine. It's funny. Crash Bandicoot came out in September '96. Bubsy 64 came out November. I don't remember November '96 or '97. So maybe that was a little too late, but still, you could have seen that now. There's two games that have come out, and you have nothing, so you should have delayed it at least a little bit. Donkey Kong 64. When did that one come out? Oh, that's 99. Banjo?
Was Crash even like fully 3D though?
The first, yeah, I mean, it
In
was
the
3D
sense of
enough.
in the sense of like the way Bubsy was trying to be 3D.
Yeah, I'd say so.
I wouldn't even say that. No,
When did Sonic Adventure 1 come out?
no, not anywhere close to that.
No, I think it was like 97. Or no,
Really?
that was Sonic R, sorry. I think it might have been
Because like
Was
2000.
Sonic R the first dabble into 3D, or was it Sonic Adventure?
no, Sonic R definitely was.
Oh, so yeah, Sonic Adventure was 99. My bad.
It's hard to make a 3D game, and people still have a trouble doing it right now. So I mean, you got to worry about modeling. You have to worry about hitboxes in a 3D space now.
Yeah,
You have to be
Resident Evil came out in 1996, and the thing is,
Metal Gear
mo-
Solid came out before Bubsy 3D. Or no.
but did you jump in Metal Gear Solid?
also it was like Super Mario 64 was really, really innovative with its not having tank controls, because most people were doing tank controls then.
They also had a shit camera for Mario 6. It only had a realigned camera for Mario 64.
Yeah,
It
so the
didn't have an
camera
actual
technology was
camera.
still wasn't there just yet, and then the controlling technology, they literally had to make a new controller just to
Just
support it. Because
for it.
remember,
Yeah,
Nintendo 64 controller was the first one with analog capabilities.
because that was the first one that allowed for, 360 movement.
Yes,
It's
because a
really
lot of
hard to
3D
do
platformers were still doing tank movements, like Tomb Raider, Resident Evil. Well, the 3D movement games doesn't have to be a platformer.
yeah.
The Well, I might actually have to eat my words here a little bit. There was Bubsy 3D is the seventh 3D platform game to come out.
Yes.
Indeed,
First one
indeed.
was in 1990 called Alpha Waves, which I don't know how much that counts. Then it was Jumping Flash, Bug, Mario 64, Crash Bandicoot, and then Bubsy. And then
So 2 games that we can
Geograph.
even name off the top of our heads,
Yeah.
and Bubsy was still in development when those ones were coming out.
And remember, Crash Bandicoot wasn't even like a freely roaming game
3D game. It
like
was like,
Bubsy was or Super Mario
yeah,
64. It was
yeah.
the Crash was
All
very
right.
linear.
Yeah. But
And Mario didn't even look
still,
exactly like Bubsy, so you still
still
have to like
okay. Back to the
that is
initial
bad.
point.
Oh yeah, the game's
ET,
bad.
yeah,
The game's
Bubsy 3D
bad.
in my opinion is one of the worst games ever made, whereas ET is not on that same level, just circumstances alone, in my opinion.
It's
So
still a bad game.
yeah, oh yeah, but
Still a bad game, but
to
I'm
put a
also not gonna
game
excuse it.
that's like made by one person, like
I'm not
in that
comparing
kind of a
them at
category,
all in terms of like,
because then the worst game of all time is like some random third single person Steam game. Like that would be the worst game of all time. Like why?
okay, the worst well-known game of all time.
And it's only well known because that was back when games weren't bad. That game is regarded as the reason why the video game crash happened. But it's just that was just the bad end of the stick. Like it wasn't like it was this dude's intention. He was one person trying to make a game. So I think it's rough to give that one as much of a. I feel like you guys understand what
But
I'm
wait,
saying, but I'm not doing a
I
good job
understand
of.
what you're saying. I understand completely what you're saying, like, "Oh, these circumstances should excuse it because,
Should
there's
excuse
other
it
games."
from not from being a bad game. Should excuse it from being in the contention for top 10 worst games of all time.
Yeah.
Like I
No, no,
think that that's not
no.
fair.
I don't know about that. It's not like I'm not disregarding the fact that there's been worse games with there's been bad games with bigger teams behind it, as well as bigger professionals and whatnot.
Yeah.
I just consider the fact that it's just like it's still a really shitty game. Like I don't
Yeah.
want to play it. I still can enjoy Bubsy. Like if I freaking go and play it, I'm like, okay, it's
I can
really
enjoy the
bad.
original. I cannot enjoy
But
Bubsy 3D. I it
I can enjoy Bubsy 3D. It's still
Nah. Maybe as a
still
22-year-old, like looking back, trying to make it stupid, I could, but in general, no.
but I
I can
cannot
because
find enjoyment. I cannot find enjoyment in
I
freaking
can
Atari
because I
3D.
kind of enjoy playing shitty games like that just for like, oh, hey, how did people play in the good old days? And by that I mean the bad old days.
I wouldn't even consider that because I could say the same thing for Bubsy in that case of just like, oh man, these controls are shit. How do you do this? But I could still like outside of like that, I can like still enjoy like, this stupid humor every now and then, or
Yeah.
like the freaking level design, even if sometimes it is shitty or it hurts my eyes. I'm just like, oh man, this is actually not that bad. They actually cared a little bit here, you know. But for
Yeah,
Atari's ET, I can't feel that, you know.
I guess.
It's very even loosely based off what the source material. So I just I guess that's my take on it.
Fair.
I'm not shitting on the guy for making a
Well,
bad game.
no,
I'm just shitting on the game
and
because
I'm
like
not saying it's a good game. I'm just saying for that to be that, like the only reason it's considered that is because it was the straw that broke the camel's back. Like because that was like directly related to the video game crash, and I get that. But that was more related to big companies churning out bad games because they knew people would buy them. This was just a guy trying to make a game,
Yeah.
and it just kind of happened to be in a situation where people weren't exactly happy with the market, and then all of a sudden, you know, this poor dude gets all his games buried in New Mexico, and I'm like, you know, this poor
yeah, I
dude.
remember that. New Mexico. I think it was actually I don't remember New Mexico. Was it New Mexico? Fucking
Yeah, I think it was New Mexico.
But Yeah, it was in New Mexico, Phil. I know that for a fact.
Phil? Yep, it is New Mexico.
Thanks.
It was in New Mexico.
Uh,
I was
um,
confirming with myself,
I but anyway, um, I digress. Uh,
I digest.
any other games you guys want to go through? I am exhausted, and I have work in the morning.
I feel that, but I have work at home tomorrow, so I'm good.
Nice, lucky you, you
I have
smug.
online work. I am a coder. I get to program from home.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
But
I
yeah, I
have
think I
off tomorrow, so
hey. But yeah, I think that ends it. I think we talked about the games that are bad, but we can enjoy the wonderfully
Yeah,
flawed games. Yeah, well, I guess that's it. If you came this far and listened to all our rambling and our
I'm
takes on
surprised.
games, thank you. Greatly appreciate it. Really, I want you to probably view some of our other videos where we have, takes on other things.
Yeah, go see our last video. It didn't do well, but it's really funny.
I really, yeah. Please view the other stuff that we have. I feel like we're getting back into the rhythm things, trying to, you
Yeah,
know,
we are.
keep this more consistent.
We're gonna make it more consistent. But
Maybe we'll talk about you
hit the
gaming
button.
in
I don't
like
even care if you
challenge.
hit the like button. Just hit the click button. I just want to see the view counter go higher than 10.
hit the butt.
Just
Hit
hit
the
the button.
button, hit the dislike button, and we won't see
Hit the
the
dislike
post.
button. We don't care. At least it means
Hit the
somebody hit a button. Hit the button.
no, get to see it anyway. Hit the dislike button for
Yeah, no one can see it anyway. Ha. Well, you'll never know. Only the creator will know, and he'll never tell us.
Joey will see it, and he won't tell
Joey
us.
will tell
Best
us.
not to.
Everyone loves him.
I mean,
Joey,
I
please
couldn't
don't
tell
tell
you
us
the
in the comments.
analytics.
I do want
It's
to say one
just
thing. We, in the gaming and anime and whatnot community, we have lost a real one.
Yes,
The
we have.
creator and founder of Yu-Gi-Oh! Has passed away in a freak snorkeling accident. Yes, I'm not kidding. In a freak snorkeling accident. Um,
Yeah, yeah.
yeah, age 60.
Unfortunate.
Very.
Please get your game on for him.
Get your game
Please,
on.
please buy a singular pack for this man that has passed away. Oh god, that's a really bad thing to say.
A little bit. Oh
Yeah, it
well.
is.
please enjoy the things that he's
Think of
made.
Yu-Gi-Oh! Indeed.
Please enjoy the things that he's made in the way that you think supports him the best.
Exactly.
Think of them fondly. Please don't make an NFT of them.
Absolutely
That's been
not.
going around a lot
Oh my
recently.
god. All right. I
They
gotta
also
go.
did that for Technoblade, and I did not like it.
Okay,
Heard,
so
you know.
we'll see you in the next
See
video.
you next time.
Yeah.
See you
As
next time.
always, I'm
Bye.
Mike. As always,
James.
I'm Mike.
I'm James.
And I'm not interrupting anybody because I'm Joey.
All right. See you guys.
See ya.